Last week, Goa once again witnessed students taking to the streets. The agitation sparked conversations across the state. But here's a question. Are student agitations new to Goa? Far from it. Goa has witnessed several successful agitations led by students themselves. Movements that didn't just make headlines, they made history.
म्हाका दिसता 72-73 वर्सां आसतली की अखिल गोमंतकी विद्यार्थी संघटना म्हणून ही संघटना सुरू जाली आनीक ह्या संघटनेची उद्दिश्ट आशिल्ली खंयचो अन्याय दिसलो जाल्यार त्या अन्यायाची विरुद्ध करपाचें किंवा जेन्युइन डिमांड्स आसले ते डिमांड्सा खातीर करपाचें.
The story began with a demand for 25% bus fare concession. A small demand, but a big victory.
ते एक एजिटेशन आशिल्लें ते 25% बस सवलतीचें आनीक तें एजिटेशन वॉज व्हेरी व्हेरी सक्सेसफूल कारण प्रायवेट बस सर्वीस कदंबा बिदंबा प्रकार ना. खरें म्हळ्यार आज इन रिट्रोस्पेक्शन जेन्ना पळयता तेन्ना वेर वी जस्टिफायड एट दॅट टायम इन आस्किंग 25% कारण ते प्रायवेट बस ऑपरेटर्स आनी प्रायवेट बिजनसाक तूं 25% मागता बट दे वेर ऑल्सो क्वायट कन्सर्न अशें बस लॉबी वॉज व्हेरी पावरफूल इन दोज डेज तर दे एग्रीड फॉर दॅट 25% कन्सेशन.
One victory inspired another. If 25% was possible, why not 50?
50% bus concession was quite a violent agitation. And थंय तुगेले बशीचेर पयलीं पोस्टर लावप, बशी रंगोवप आनी मागीर बशी फोडप इतली लेवल पर्यंत पसून तें जाल्लें. आनी कदंबा नाशिल्लीच तेन्ना. दीस वॉज प्रायवेट बस लॉबी तेन्ना प्रायवेट बशी सगळ्यो त्यो बशी फोडप. ते बशी फोडटकर मागीर गव्हर्मेंटाचेर प्रेशर येतालें आनी ते हें करताले कारण की लॉबी आशिल्ली तांची स्ट्रॉंग लॉबी आशिल्ली. ओके थंय ते मागीर ते रिप्रेशनूय जातालें डिप्रेशनांतल्यान फातर मारप आनी कितें आसलें तरी सगळ्यो गजाल जाताल्यो. इतलेंच कित्याक ते 50% मेळटकर पसून भुरग्यांक 50% दिनाशिल्ले. तेन्ना सगळ्यांत मिलिटंट जर कोण आसत जाल्यार फर्मागुडी वयल्या ITIचे भुरगे. ते तुगेले फर्मागुडी वयल्यान जो रस्तो येता तो रस्तो आनी मागीर तो मेन रस्त्याक हें करता त्या रस्त्याच्या काजी भितर ते लिपून रावताले आनी थंय काजी भितर लिपून रावप आनी बस आयली जी बस तुका कन्सेशन दिना तो बशी डायरेक्ट फोडप.
बसीचो आंदोलन 50%चें आंदोलन वॉज अ ग्रेट सक्सेस आनी टुडे आयचो प्रत्येक भुरगो शूड बी एवर इंडेटेड टू द PSU बिकॉज ते जर नाशिल्ले ह्या 50%ची कन्सेशन तांकां कदापी मेळनाशिल्लें.
Already the All Goa Students Union had done the 50% bus concession strike. They were at a quite a respected situation in society. In July 1981, there was a conference at Ramnathi. In fact, on 9th to 12th July, where a decision was taken to break away from All Goa Students Union and form the Progressive Students Union. Now the basic point of difference was that PSU believed that we should not join any political party, and there were people who are today ministers in the present government who broke away from the faction on that ground. Okay, so they joined the Congress and now BJP, etc. So this was the point of contention.
टिचर्स सपोर्ट करताले आमकां. आमचे कॉलेजीचे टिचर्स सपोर्ट करताले. खूब फावट पेरंट्स सपोर्ट करनाशिल्ले बट कॉलेजीचे टिचर्स सपोर्ट करताले कितलीशेच ह्या सगळ्या गजाली खातीर. ही एक गजाल आशिल्ली. बट खूब जाणां दिसता की स्टुडंट मुवमेंट म्हणजे फक्त रस्त्यार देंवताले आनी हें करताले. ऑफकोर्स फातर मारताले तूं वायलंटाची विचारलें वायलंट मुवमेंट जातालो बट तो वायलन्स आमच्या वाटच्यातल्यान केन्नाच जालो ना.
आनी अप्रोचाच्या बाबतींत तांची मिन्स कितें म्हणटलो तुका दे वर ऑल्सो एनी एजिटेशन फायट करतलो जाल्यार तुका पयशे लागतातच. तांकांय फंडींग आशिल्लें. इफ यू आस्क मी आय वूड से आय डोंट नो बारीक कितें फंडींग केलां आसत नसत म्हाका याद ना बिकॉज आय वॉज अर्निंग एट टायम. पूण psychologically I was always with them.
And the movement did not stop there. Whenever students sensed something was wrong, they spoke up.
There were many agitations, primarily the Marks Scandal, and that was a successful agitation because it was proved beyond doubt that there was a scandal involved to get entry in the medical college. The 12th standard mark sheet was manipulated and both the mark sheets were got somehow, and the minister was the education minister, his niece. Okay, I wouldn't take the name. And then Concon, there was higher secondary agitation where students were without teachers. So we had methods like Rasta Roko, highway being stopped, then gherawing the minister of the director of education. Finally, you have the director of education with the superintendent of police, deputy superintendent of police, and deputy collector coming to Concon to talk to the students. And then the Konkani teacher, the physics teacher was appointed, and the students of 11th and 12th, it mattered to them.
Bus fares, education, public accountability. These students believed every issue deserved a voice.
तशेंच आमचे संघर्ष नाट्य मंच आशिल्ले जे स्ट्रीट प्लेस करताले. सो त्या नाटकांनी हांव आसतालें. चोगमाच्या वेळार आमी हें केल्लें, म्हाका दिसता भरपूर 100 प्रयोग केले आसतले, म्हाका आतां याद ना. तातूंत हांव इंदिरा गांधीचो रोल करतालें. स्ट्रीट प्ले घेवन गांवांनी भोंवतालीं. सो म्हाका एक याद आसा, ती कुंकळे गेल्लीं आमी. कुंकळे थंय एक भाटकारान एकट्याक एका बायलेक मारिल्लें आनी तो ताका एक्सपोज करून बंड कशें करपाक आमी स्ट्रीट प्ले घेवन गेल्लीं. थंय किशोर बोरकार म्हणून योगराज नायक आसा पळय, ताजो बाबा. सो ताणें आमचे इतले अपुरबाय केली सामकी. अजुनूय हांव थंय कुंकळे वचत आनी कोण थंय पयलींचे लोक आसत न्ही, म्हाका अजुनूय म्हणटा तुजे तें अजून किळांच मारल्यांनी ती याद आसा म्हणून. सो तशें म्हाका खूब खंयीय गांवांत वचूनी स्ट्रीट प्लेक ज्या कोणी पळयल्लें ते अजुनूय म्हाका खूब बरें करता.
बट काणकोणा भितर आनी सांग्या भितर आनी केप्यां भितर प्रचंड जंगलतोड चलताली, बेकायदेशीर जंगलतोड, प्रचंड बेकायदेशीर जंगलतोड. आनी तातूंत भितर ते थोडे आमदार बिमदार सगळे इनवॉल्व आशिल्ले. एक्झॅक्टली परिस्थिती कितें आसा ती पळोवपा खातीर आमी सगळे आमच्या गांवांत गेले. थंयच्यान आमी भाड्याची सायकली घेतल्यो आनी थंयच्यान आमी गांवडोंगरी खोतीगांवांक गेले. भितर वचून तें आमी सगळें पळयलें आनी म्हाका याद आसा, आमचे बरोबर राजू नायके आसा तेन्ना जो संपादक आसा गोमंतकाचो. ओके, आमी प्रत्येकान आर्टिकल्स बरोवपाक स्टार्ट केली. कॅमेरे बी घेवन गेल्ले. ते कॅमेरेत आमी ते रिलाचे कसले तरी ते फालतू कॅमेरे आसताले, ते कॅमेऱ्याचेर पूण ते फोटो बिटो काडून हांवें गोमंतकाक बरयले, मागीर राजून नवप्रभा बरयले, आनी कोणें आनी खंयच्याक बरयले, आनी आमी फूल पेज आर्टिकल बरयली त्या गजालीचेर.
Soon, the movement outgrew the campus. Street theatre, rural camps, public campaigns. Students were not just shaping student life, they were engaging with society.
Another point of contention was, besides not joining political parties, not politics, it was that, we as a student movement would not limit ourselves to only student activities. It would go beyond that. It would go to sensitize ourselves to societal problems, to workers' problems. So there was a kind of a ideology involved. It was not just students for the sake of a student movement.
Not every battle was fought on the streets. Some began with ideas, some with words. Udent became the voice of a questioning generation.
And then, in order to put forth your point of view, Udent was started, because the mainstream media would not publish what we want to publish, and therefore this newsletter came into being. Mohandas Lolinkar was always the advertisement in charge. It had a very core committee of committed individuals from colleges from all over Goa, Vasco, Panjim, Margao. Cleophas Almeida Coutinho was the editor, but he had a team of 7 people with him. You had Edmund Antau, then you have Manoj Kamath, who is passed away, Khagendra Hegde Desai, then Julio De Silva, Thalman Pereira, who was in the SFI and he also died young, Raju Naik, who is the editor of Gomantak, and Kalus Montero, who also passed away young. So this was when it began. Then every year, some people left, some people joined. So in 82, the first 3 remained the same, but new people joined and old people left. Like you have Jennifer Culasso, Sudhakar Rao and Babasier Gonsalves. from Dempe College. So some from Dempe, some from MES, and I joined in 82 on the editorial team.
आमी मॅगझीन चलयताले. उदेंत म्हणून मॅगझीन आशिल्लें. उदेंत म्हणजे डॉन. ओके, इट वॉज मल्टिलिंग्वल हें. आनी तें मॅगझीन आमी गोंयभर सगळ्याक उदेंत विकप हीच आमचे खातीर एक मोहीम आसताली. तें मॅगझीन आमी हें करताले. त्या मॅगझिना भितर रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स आसताले, जस्ट रिपोर्ट्स नासताले. वेगवेगळ्या विशयाचेर अभ्यास करून ताजेर आर्टिकल्स बरोवप. क्लियोफा तालमेदा कुतिन्हो जो आज पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट म्हणून आसा, ही इज अ सिनियर लॉयर ऑफ बॉम्बे हायकोर्ट एट गोवा. ओके, आनी ही इज अ कॉलमनिस्ट. ओके, तागेले ही वॉज दी एडिटर ऑफ दॅट. कोंकणी मराठी सेक्शन आहा तें मागीर हांवूय पळयतालो त्या हातूंतलें. हय न्ही, थंय म्हजी जर्नलिजमाची हें हांव शिकलो.
There was a big hunger strike in Chogle College. Edmund Antau was refused admission and then he 9 days hunger strike. Then he was arrested in the middle of the night, and then Sabina Martins continued the hunger strike.
So they refused admission to Edmund Anta. He was the General Secretary of the Union. So Edmund went on hunger strike at Margaon Garden. Then one night what they did was, evening they said his blood pressure was dropping. Then some doctors were coming, but we got our own doctors, and they took him to hospital. Forced to break. So then they said somebody should take his place. So we had a discussion, and they said better somebody from the same college. Now same college I was active, and so they asked whether who would, and whether you would or this one. We were 2-3 very active people, I mean, who took leadership roles. So I said okay. Again the tempo rose, and so then by evening they said like they had to. There was so much pressure. Then one delegation went and met the chief minister then, and they called the college management, the Chogles, and students went, and there was a discussion, and then finally they agreed to take him back. They agreed to take him. So next evening, actually I just went for 1 day, like not much thing, but by evening they broke, and all those. I still remember those hotels, Mabai Hotel and down Greece. So, and everybody was so happy that I went, because they said they used to say, because I was really thin. Then they gave me lime juice that Mawani came, and then somebody gave me one slab of chocolate and something like that.
And the movement wasn't led by men alone. Women stood at the forefront, leading, organizing and sacrificing equally.
म्हाका दिसता आमी चलयो सगळ्यो मेळून 6-7 जाणां आशिल्ले, चले चड आशिल्ले, पण ते हेल्पफुली आशिल्ले. खूब वेळा आमकां जेन्ना गरज पडटाली, म्हाका तर सगळेच करताले हेल्प, पण बाकीच्यांकूय जेन्ना गरज पडटाली तेन्ना ते करताले. आनी त्या काळान म्हणजे 1984-85 पर्यंत म्हाका कळूंक ना की देर इज अ डॉमिनन्स ऑफ अ थॉट ऑर डॉमिनन्स ऑफ पीपल, बट बाकीच्यांक जाणवल्लें, ज्यो बायलो आशिल्ल्यो तांकां जाणवल्लें, आनी तांकां दिसतालें की आमकां बायलांचो विशय घेवन मुखार वचूंक जाय.
तुका कितें दिसता, 4 लोक वचून भाशणां करतात, ते लोक दिसतात, फाटल्यान कोण काम करतात ते दिसना. अशे तरेचे कितले चलयो तर कितल्योच. चलयांचो तर फक्त कार्मेल कॉलेज न्ही, बाकीचे कडल्यान कितल्योश्योच चलयो ह्यो सगळ्यो आशिल्ल्यो.
आमचो सगळ्यान सिनियर आशिल्लो डेजमंड डिकोस्टा. ही हॅज शेप्ड मी अ लॉट. सो त्या वेळार कितें जातालें की चुकतालें आमकां अभ्यास, मागीर तो आमकां बसतालो, सगळ्यांक घेवन बसतालो, आनी तो जे शिकयतालो न्ही, आनी तो इतलो बरो सर, तो जे कितें शिकयतालो न्ही तातूंत हांव पास जातालें.
खूब जाण आसात, 1 आनी 2 अशें न्ही. आतां फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्लियोफा तालमेदा कुतिन्हो आमी वॉल पेंटिंगा वताले रातचे. ओके, क्लियोफात आमचे बरोबर आसतालो, पूण ताणी स्वता घेवन ब्रश घेवन केन्ना चड पेंट बीन तशें कांय हें केल्लें ना, कळ्ळें न्ही. बट ताजो रोल तातूंत भितर खूब व्हडलो आशिल्लो त्या गजाली भितर. ओके, म्हाका अजून याद जाता की एकनाथ महाले म्हणून आमचो एक फ्रेंड आसा, ही वॉज गोवा कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट स्टुडंट तेन्ना. तो मुवमेंट आमचे बरोबर रस्त्यार केन्ना देंवलो ना, बट सगळीं पोस्टर रातभर बसून आमी ते पोस्टर, तो पेंटर तांणी ते पोस्टर्स तयार करप. खूब जाण भुरगे बाकीची मॅगझिनां विकपाचे आनी कितें असली तरेची गजाली करताले. बाकीचे भुरगे आसात सगळे जे भुरगे फोर फ्रंटाचेर येवन उलयनाशिल्ले. लेस्टर फेर्नांडीस म्हूण आशिल्लो, आज ना तो आमचे मदीं, तो आफ्रिकेक आसतालो, तो गोंयांत येतकर कोंकणी पसून सारकी उलोवपाक येनाशिल्ली. ही वॉज अवर स्टार एक्टर इन दी स्ट्रीट प्ले, पॉवरफूल एक्टर. ओके, बाकीच्या हातूंत भितर तो सगळो तो चिंतपी, विचार करपी, पेपर बरोवपी आनी कितें करपी अशे तरेचे.
Behind every agitation were countless stories, late night meetings, pamphlets, laughter, endless debates, and friendships that stood the test of time. Different faiths, different backgrounds, one cause. Some found lifelong friends, some found lifelong partners, all found a purpose.
आमच्या मदीं खूब बॉन्डिंग जालें. PSUचे जे लोक आसा, आमी खंयच्याय कोणच्याक आसूं, कितेंय आसूं, आमच्या मदीं मतभेद आसूं, कितेंय आसूं, बट देर इज अ स्ट्रॉंग बॉन्डिंग.
One, of course, we had good friendship, strong bond. Actually, we didn't know each other. I mean, I came from a village, some cities, and these people came from Kanpur. Sandesh, Prashanti was from Vasco, and we had north and south. But the passion to do for work for students, that was very strong.
स्टुडंटांनी मोग करप ना जाल्यार तो कोणी करप. ओके, सो तो मोग जावप आनी तो हें जो आसा, अशी कितली कपल्स आसात. म्हणजे म्हजे आनी प्रशांतीची जे रिलेशन आसा स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान डेवलप जाला. प्रशांत आनी रत्नमाला दिवकाराचें स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान डेवलप जाला. क्लिओफा दाल्मेदा कुतिन्हो आनी सुशिला मेंडीस स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान जाला. डेजमंड डिकोस्टा ज्योती दोन स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान जाला. मुश्ताक अहमद आनी रेहना आशिल्लीं वास्को भितर तांची स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान जाला. रोलंड मार्टिन्स, कॅरोलिन कुलासो स्टुडंट मुवमेंटांतल्यान जाला. इट इज जस्ट नॉट खंय तरी हांव तुजेर मोग करता, तुमचेर मोग करता अशे तरेचें हें नाशिल्लें. आनी वी वर फायटींग ऑन दी रोड. आनी फाल्यां तुका कितें आसा, फाल्यां हो भुरगो आनी आमी रिवोल्युशन उलयताले, फाल्यां त्या हातूंत भितर तो मेलो जाल्यार पसून मरपा पसून शकता अशे तरेची पॉसिबिलिटी आशिल्ली. ओके, सो तेन्ना जेन्ना तूं सामको फाल्यां हो मनीस मरपा पसून शकता आनी ताजेर तूं मोग करता, तेन्ना त्या मोगाची इंटेन्सिटी कितें आसतली तूं जस्ट इमेजीन कर.
दे वर अशें हांवें तुका म्हणलें की दे वर कमिटेड टू एन आयडियोलॉजी, not to a political ideology. Some of them may not like them being active today. They are active today. All of them are in their 60s, 100%. 50 लोक कोण ना त्यांचे कडेन. They are all in their 60s, near 70s. But all of them are active even today.
The protests ended, college life moved on, but the spirit remained. These student leaders became professors, doctors, journalists, lawyers, and lifelong voices for society. Perhaps that's the greatest legacy of Goa student movements. They did not just lead successful agitations, they shaped generations of leaders. The half ticket in students' hands today is more than a concession. It's a reminder that when students come together with purpose, history listens.